480-245-7169. 480-245-7169.
Now, obviously, the show is on a delay, so it's going to take a minute for that.
Yeah, it's going to take
out
a few
there.
minutes. One more time, I'm going to say it. In case, get your pens out, write it down. This is always the call-in number. So when we do have a call-in, and we didn't plan this, Jason, so I don't know how many call-ins we're going to get because we didn't warn anybody, but this is the number, 480-245.
Let me get a piece of paper.
No, you don't need it. You don't need it. You don't need it. They need it. The people that are listening.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So in the meantime, Carl, you got a question for him, for Jason?
Well, Jason, you said you want to become a pro bodybuilder. Hold on a second. Hold on 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
Jason, what are your best lifts? What's your best body part?
Probably my legs are disgusting. They're wicked. I have Tom Platt's legs, everybody says.
Wow. But now here's the question I got for you, and then we got a caller for you. You said you want to be a pro bodybuilder, but you do realize that all the pros use drugs, right?
Yeah, but I want to go in the natural leagues.
So you want to be a natural bodybuilder, okay, so you want to be like my buddy Joshua Trentini. He's a drug-free national
There is one pro bodybuilder who is natural in the natural leagues who's very good, and his name, I think he's natural. They suspect he might not be, but his name is Skip LaCour.
Oh, no, Skip's not natural. Don't worry about that. That's okay.
Oh, Paul, you don't know that.
Oh, come on.
They say he is, but it's a myth, I guess.
Yes.
I like Skip.
I know. He's a good guy. I'm just breaking balls. Anyway, all right, listen, we got a caller. Hold on a second. Go ahead, caller. You're on the line with Jason Genova.
Hey, how's it going, Jason? This is PJ Braun, big fan of yours.
How you doing?
Do you know who PJ is?
No.
PJ is an up-and-coming, he'll be a pro bodybuilder very shortly. He's a national-level competitor, and he's an amazingly muscular guy. And how old are you now, PJ?
28.
20. He's 4 years older than you. You should look him up and look at his physique. You'll be very impressed. He'll give you some real good goals. Go ahead, PJ. Sorry about that.
My question
no homo.
Is,
no homo.
Unlike all the more popular guys that are bashing you, I'm actually a fan of yours. And my question is, I wanted to know what your inspiration to get into bodybuilding was. And of the current crop of pros now, who do you actually like and look up to? Because it seems like you don't like most of the guys out there.
I'll tell you the positive. The one I like the most first would probably be Jay Cutler. I love Jay Cutler, man. Yeah. I love Jay Cutler. And the worst.
And ironically, the one totally natural bodybuilder in the whole mix. Go ahead. Sorry about that. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
And what inspired you to get into bodybuilding? I know you used to be a MMA fighter, but what got you into bodybuilding?
My father was a bodybuilder back in the 70s.
Cool.
And Jason, you were about to say what was your least favorite pro bodybuilder?
Oh, probably the least favorite pro bodybuilder I think would be he's not very good. I'm trying to think. Probably Samuel Benout, whatever his name is.
Samir Benout.
Oh, Samir Benout.
Samir Benout.
He was Mr. Olympia one year.
I know, but 1 year is not enough to make me impressed.
You think it was just an off year that year, maybe?
Yeah,
What about Chris Dickerson? He was only Mr. Olympia once. Are you impressed by him?
I'm impressed with his physique. I think he had a fabulous physique.
Yeah, he did have a great physique.
Samir won in '83. So, did you think he looked good then, or you just never liked his physique?
Chris Dickerson?
No, Samir Benout.
Samir Benout.
Samir Benout. I think his physique was a little shallow in some areas.
If you had to critique his physique, what parts would you be critical of? If I was Samir, and I was asking you, Jason, help me to improve my physique, what body parts would you say he needed to work on?
Probably his chest is a little shallow.
Okay.
A little bit.
What about the legs? Does he have the
I've seen better legs. Believe me.
I've seen better legs on bar stools.
Now, here's a question for you, Jason. You know, if you're going to go and take on Alvisi in a few years, you know, he's a big guy. He's a good bodybuilder. I want to know what you're doing with your training to accomplish this. Like, what is it that you're doing specifically
my
now?
training's brutal, like Dorian Yates.
Oh, you do like high-intensity type of training?
High, very brutal, and very, very, very painful.
You know, beyond failure training.
Beyond failure, until failure is the end of failure.
Do you have somebody training you in the gym, or are you on your own?
The hardest part is I read books, so I train on my own. I read a lot of Dorian Yates books.
Yeah, I always enjoyed his books quite a bit when I was getting into bodybuilding, too. He was always my favorite.
He's a very prolific author, you know.
Yeah.
A lot to choose from.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, you know. Who else inspires you? What other guys do you look up at other than Jay Cutler and say that's somebody I'd like to be like?
I would love to be like Tom Platz. I think his legs were incredible. His quadriceps, his hamstrings, his gastrocnemius were unbelievable. His outer sweep was impressive in the legs. I thought he had the best legs in town for the 80s.
And he had a smile that could light up a room.
That's it.
Hey, PJ, you got any more questions?
I think that he has covered my questions, and I appreciate him doing so.
All right, we're going to let you go. So, hey, Aaron, give the number out again real quick. What is the number again? 480.
480. Sorry, I was getting a text message from another question. But let's see. Let's see what we got. I don't even remember, Carl.
480-245-7169. Is that right?
That's it.
480-245-7169. All right, PJ, thanks for calling in. The lines are open. If you've got a question for Jason Genova, 480-245-7169.
We only have time for one more caller.
7169. So get your call. Be the caller. Come on. Hey, Jason, who's your favorite Mr. Olympia?
Oh, I'm going to tell you right now, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you who he is, Ronnie Coleman.
There you go. Now you're talking, brother. Okay. Now for saying that, you can come back on the show another time, okay?
Okay.
That's it.
So, Jason, have you been to any shows other than the one you did? Have you been to any pro shows
I've watched some pro shows on TV, but I've been to one big show years ago, not here, but in Las Vegas at Olympia, years ago, back in '96, when Dorian Yates, before he tore his bicep in '97.
You must have been a young guy then, huh?
Oh, I was about 12, 11 years old then.
Would you go with your folks?
No, I went with one of my friends at that time.
Oh.
And he was grown up.
Oh. And how did you enjoy that?
I thought he was incredible. Dorian Yates was incredible. He was.
Did seeing him at that young age influence you to want to do bodybuilding?
Yes, it did.
Now, Jason, I heard that you were an MMA fighter before you decided to start early into bodybuilding.
I was an amateur, yes.
And how did that go? Were you successful? What was your record?
It was okay. I had in one season I won like 20, and lost 5 or 6.
Wow. So you fought quite often then?
Yeah, and I got hit bad, and I got a busted jaw for it. I mean, I got knocked out teeth. The proof is in the pudding. My teeth are so messed up. Might have to have a construction on my teeth, so.
Hey, what do you think, what do you think, why did you decide that MMA wasn't in your future?
Because I got a lot of injuries from it, and I had to stop.
Hey, we got another caller. We can take one more call before we have to let Jason go. Can we take the caller now?
Yeah, let's do it real fast.
All right, we got the famous Derek Anthony on the line. How you doing, Derek?
You guys there?
Yeah, we're here, Derek. How you doing, man?
Good, man. What's up?
You're on with Jason Genova.
Jason, you got some stars calling.
Hey, Derek,
you know who I am, buddy?
and Jason, Derek Anthony is another paisano like you. He's a famous bodybuilder, and he's Italian, okay? So there you go. All right.
Jason, you know who I am?
Yeah, I know who you are.
Ah, well, what do you think about me?
I think you're unbelievable.
Oh, wow. Thank you. I appreciate it.
In a good way or a bad way, Jason?
In a good way.
Good. Yeah. Derek is a good guy.
I'm shocked. No, but I want to know what your thinking is, and you're making all the videos. Are you trying to better your career in terms of because I do pretty much the same thing, self-promotion, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and I'm actually pretty impressed. I mean, you're trying to reach out, and a lot of people. I mean, look, you're on a radio show. I want to know what you're doing in the future in terms of other things, because I mean, you're on a radio show, you got a following already, so I'm actually pretty impressed. So if you got any tricks for me, let me hear them.
My trick is, I'm going to tell you, I'm a very driven person. I'm very, very determined. I just don't give up without a fight. I'm just a pure warrior with pure blood and determination.
I like it, kid. I like how you don't take shit. And if people don't like you, tell them to go fuck themselves because you're a good kid. You work hard, and don't take no shit from anybody. Don't let people knock you down. Don't let people tell you can't do anything. Stay driven and do your thing. I mean, I started from scratch, and I got my own radio show now. You know, I'm pretty famous in the bodybuilding world. You know, so anybody who doubts you, you know, just keep proving them wrong, because I got a lot of respect for you. You did pretty good.
Hey, and one other thing, Jason, Derek has a problem. His calves aren't really that great. What would you tell him to do for his calves to bring them up?
Bring them up.
Jay.
A lot of calf raisers help.
Calf raisers?
Yeah.
Okay.
I can't get them big. They're so small. I don't.
You know what it usually is?
What?
Genetics.
Genetic?
Yeah,
I thought it was
true. What's your take on synthol, though? Should I do that?
Should you do what?
You know, synthol? You ever hear of synthol?
Yeah, I've heard of synthol. Yeah, you should do it if you need to get it bigger. If you have no other obstacle, then do it.
What do you, Jason? What do you think about the theory? There's some science behind the fact that guys who wear tube socks, their calves don't grow because the tube socks are restrictive. You think there's any truth to that?
I think it's a myth.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm not going to believe it anymore.
Ridiculous.
Okay. What do you mean ridiculous? There's 2 studies that came out of Cambridge Institute. The tube socks restrict gastrocnemius and soleus growth. What are you talking about? Come on. All right, anyway.
Jason, I got to split, but keep doing your thing, bro. Don't let anybody down you, and if they do, tell them to go fuck themselves. All right?
There you go.
I am.
Tell him
right.
Derek Anthony said so.
Okay.
All right.
Later,
Thanks for calling in, Derek, okay?
No problem.
All right.
So, Jason, before we let you go, tell us when is the next video coming out? When can we expect part 6?
About 2 weeks from now.
2 weeks from now. Okay, so everybody will be anxiously waiting. They can go to your YouTube page and subscribe, so that way they can get it as soon as it comes out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and Jason, is Joey Joe or Joey, is he your manager?
No, not at the moment.
Okay. All right.
But you know what I've always, before I leave the air, I'm just going to shout out to Richard Gaspari. I've always wanted a Richard Gaspari contract.
Okay.
You know, I promised his friend that I would mention before we get off the air. I think he said you had a message for Steve Blackman. Do you want to give out that message? Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah.
What do you want to say to Steve Blackman?
I want to say that I just need a contract.
I thought you wanted to write a column for his magazine.
Yeah, I want to write a column for his magazine, but I really want a contract. That's what I'm looking for. I'm hungry for, you know.
And you're willing to do whatever to get it, huh? You'll work
I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get it, even if I have to work a little harder than everybody else.
Sounds good.
There you
Sounds
go.
good, Jason.
All right, Jason, thank you so much for taking the time to come on Off Topic Radio. And keep doing what you're doing. Like Derek Anthony said, stay focused and you'll reach your dreams, okay?
Okay.
All right, take care of yourself, brother.
Thank you
Have
for
a good
coming
night.
on, Jason.
Have a good night. Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.
Too.
Oh, my God.
Nice kid. Nice kid, huh?
That's funny.
Very nice kid. Nice kid. And Derek was really nice to him, I think. I want to commend Derek Anthony for. I thought Derek was going to start to rip him up, and I'm glad he did.
I told Derek, I said, when he asked me before, he texted me about coming on to rip the kid up, and I said,
Whoa, what the hell? Hold on a
drop
second.
that, Carl.
Oh, sorry about that.
So I said to him, that I had a feeling that wouldn't really be appropriate,
Right.
From talking to Jason's manager. He has a talent. I don't know. I guess JoJo wasn't the one I talked to, but I've been speaking to his manager because I haven't been able to talk to him. You have to go through.
Joey.
I guess that's not really his real name because he didn't seem to even know who we were talking about.
His real name is Joseph Joey Joe.
I think it's Joshua. I think that's what he said his name was.
Anyway,
you got to kind of jump through hoops to get in touch with Jason. He's not easy man to get in touch with.
Well, he's a fucking celebrity, man.
He's got people, and you have to talk to his people.
His people got to talk to your people. You do lunch a couple times. Next thing you know, you get together. Ba ba ba, bada bing, bada bang. Okay. All right. So you know what this is, right? This is time to take another commercial.
That's right, and I'll send you the number for our next guest.
Yes. And who is our next guest?
Deshaun Grimez.
But his nickname is Kiko.